you kind of bounced off what I was going to bring up. I was going to bring up the social dilemma. I happened to see. I held off on watching that, and my wife and I actually watched it the night before. Whatever happened at Capitol Hill, right? And I remember, you remember the guy from, how basically, you think you're free, you think you're accessing all kinds of information, but once you get on social media, there's artificial intelligence that just keeps feeding you all the information that you're searching for, which you just brought up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was wondering, like, what would motivate all these these guys or these people to go into Capitol Hill? And basically, it probably comes down to social media, and all they're getting is all the information that they're looking for. It's a regurgitation of all the information that they want. But they spoke to a former Facebook executive, and they said to him, "Well, what do you see in the future? Like, what do you think is going to be happening with social media?" And he basically said, "Civil war." And like the next day, then this happened, and I thought, I haven't heard anybody else bring this up. I just heard you bring it up, but I think this is the major component of what's caused this. I mean, these people that were going to Capitol Hill, they probably thought, well, this is my reality. This is the truth. Everybody else believes this too, because that's all they're seeing on their social media.
You see,
and so, the real evil is right there. It's on our smartphone.
It is absolutely in our smartphone, but I think that the real evil is assuming that there is such a thing as a free lunch. Ken and I were talking about this earlier, and you see, there is nothing that's free. Let me give you an example. A lot of people think that the Canadian health system is a free system. No, it's not. We pay a tremendous amount of tax. The tax burden for a Canadian is one of the largest ones on the planet. So the health system is not free, and you do pay twice in Canada for the health system. You pay with your taxes, and you also pay with your time, because you also have to wait sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 months in order for you to get an MRI and so on. Meanwhile, there are other systems in which you can actually pay for it and get it done right away. I'd rather keep my money and do it that way. But I think that assuming that social media is a free system is a far more costly assumption that people may think it is. Because what you're paying with is you're paying with your life. You're paying with your time. We do this exercise often, Ted, on my sales meetings. And I ask everyone that is attending my meeting to pick up their phone and to slide towards the right. So you go to the farthest left on your screen on your iPhone. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it will tell you what your actual screen time has been. And the vast majority of my people are anywhere between 4 and 8 hours a day of looking at their phone. The phone also tells you how many times you're picking it up. So you see, what we think is free is not. You are paying with the most valuable thing that anyone and everyone could ever have, which is your time. That's right. Unfortunately, the internet will tell you exactly what you want to hear. It's made for that. I remember, look, I was an early adopter, and I am nobody to talk when it comes to social media because I built a career around it. And what I can tell you is that, this was 10 years ago. We were exploring behavioral patterning. So, for example, if somebody was looking for how much is the price of a transmission, and this is something that it was an exercise that was conducted, a decade ago, and that person right there was most likely to buy a vehicle within the following 6 months than anybody else. So we knew that you were going to buy a car before you knew that you were going to buy a car. Yeah. So what I'm saying to you is that whatever it is that you are looking for, the internet will give it to you. And if you haven't watched The Social Dilemma, you probably should. It's a documentary that's on Netflix.
In essence, you're living in an altered reality. You feel that your reality becomes, you create your own reality.
Really? Well, let's not go into simulation therapy here. But Ted, thank you so much for calling the show. And keep on listening.